to the Narrow Dive Corner. My name is Sheila. I'm your host, and today we are here as usual in one of our lives to talk to topics that affect neurodivergent people or affect the people that take care of neurodivergent individuals, right? So that's the purpose of the channel. And just wanted to, before I get into anything or dive too deep into anything, I wanted to take some time to thank the new subscribers. Thank you for joining the community and keep growing it. It's greatly appreciated. It's not the biggest community out there, but I feel that we share a passion and knowledge of similar topics, mainly being neurodivergent. So I appreciate each and every one of you, as well as my top fans. Thank you so much for always supporting the channel and always engaging and commenting. So all I can say is do all the good things, hit the like, hit the subscribe, hit the bell so you know whenever we're posting new videos. Also smash the hearts and all of that. Makes it makes the channel more visible to everybody else. And again, it helps our little community grow. Today we're going to talk about keto. And I'm sure some of you probably know why exploring this topic today. Um, but if you are not like me, that are super dialed in to the news cycle, um, so our Coppertone brainworm secretary has been making the rounds in legacy media, alleging that consuming a keto diet can cure schizophrenia. I am going to make this very easy for those of you that are hate watching. If you believe that following a keto diet is going to cure a neurophysiological disorder, I truly hope your next colonoscopy is done by your accountant. That's what I have to say to you. If in this day and age you are willing to believe something like that. Let me sound off on the chat. Let me put the old lady's glasses on, because if not, I'm not gonna see. Ava Rose. Hi, Ava. Thank you. You're one of our top fans. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. Do all the good things. Hit the like, smash the hearts, all of that. Share with your friends. We have the heart psychord of Mozart. Oh, interesting. For the first few seconds, I thought you was my sister. Well, if you want to call me your sister, I'll take that as a compliment. We have self-care. Loves you too. Thank you for being one of our top subscribers and coming back to the channel. Again, to the subscribers, make sure that you continue to engage and make comments, because the channel is getting shadow banned. I've been saying this for a couple of days. I don't know if it's because we have a campaign going. I'm sorry if I got a little emotional there. But yeah, we have a GoFundMe campaign for my nephew, who is autistic, and sadly his insurance will not pay for his music therapy. And we have tried all of the typical therapies for ASD, and it just hasn't been effective. And music therapy was the breakthrough. Um, but that's neither here nor there. I had put it out to the channel before. If you guys want to donate or even just share the campaign, I can put that on the description. Um, any little bit helps. I think each session is like $100. So right now we're only able to pay for one session per week, and he should be getting at least 20 hours of therapy per week. So yeah, so that happens. Um, wait, hold up. Let me get back to the chat because you guys are active today. Yeah, like I said, yeah, he loves you too. Um, so I would look like your sister if I had freckles. I do get freckles, actually. Believe it or not. For being born and raised in Puerto Rico and being full Puerto Rican, I don't tan. I get red, I peel, and then I get freckles. So that's that. Who else is in here? Alal. Hi Quiver, I miss you so much. I miss you too. Been missing everybody. I am. You're a gentleman. Good. There's not a whole lot of those around anymore. So let's talk about keto, right? Because our coppertone brainworm secretary of incompetency in Health and Human Services keeps putting this nation at risk. So now we have measles out of control thanks to him pulling out these weird studies that didn't make it out for a reason and were not peer reviewed for a reason. Or he heard it on the chat. I don't know how these people operate. I really don't. But we have the measles situations, and then now we have him and Dr. Oz, which I don't even know out of the two which one is worse, honestly, because one was a cardiologist, and you would think he would still have a little bit of that do no harm attitude. And then the other one, like, bro, you are an attorney and you weren't even a really good one. And you come from like royal or American royalty. So just go sit the fuck down, shut the fuck up, and let somebody competent come and do your job. But that's not what's happening. So let's talk a little bit about schizophrenia first, right? So we know schizophrenia and schizoaffective disorder are disorders of the brain. There are specific markers and specific chemicals that are deficient in the brain in these patients. It is not an illness, it's a disorder. It doesn't have a cure, it has management. So if you are somebody that has schizophrenia, you can definitely lead a very productive life. So long as you and your psychiatrist have your disorder well controlled. And this moron is putting everybody at risk once again, telling people about the keto diet. Now, I'm not going to lie about the keto diet. The keto diet does have some neurological benefits. If you look further back enough, there are some peer review studies where the keto diet was used to decrease the amount of seizures in patients, in epileptic patients that were resistant to medication or whose epilepsy was resistant to medication. So they found out that when they put them in a keto diet, it had the tendency to lower significantly the the instances or the epileptic attacks. That being said, conversely, the keto diet, for those of us that have done it, because I did it in order to lose weight and because I was supposedly pre-diabetic. So, you know, there's a very fine line between being in ketosis and not being. So if it's for neurological benefit and you come out of ketosis, you are going to have seizures and you're probably going to see a spike on those seizures. So a lot of neurologists have pulled away from using the keto diet with their patients with epilepsy. Same with the patients with autism. For a while, it was believed that the keto diet helped lower some of the meltdowns and some of those big emotion um, or tantrums, like some people call them, that patients with ASD have. And this was before it was understood that a lot of these meltdowns happen because the person with ASD is either overstimulated or understimulated. So, depending on what the case is, they have to follow a ritual or something that serves a function to help them regulate. That's one of the reasons that we are so happy about the music therapy with my nephew, because it's the first time that we see him do something, enjoy it, and actually be completely well regulated. And sort of like coming out of his shell and being a little bit more social. So that's pretty cool for us. So back to the keto diet. So the keto diet, though, again, it does have some neurological benefits, but no, it is not going to cure schizophrenia, and most likely it wouldn't have any type of impact on that disorder. And I wouldn't listen to the copper tone brainworm guy. My peeps, my community, talk to your provider about things like that, please. It is extremely dangerous. And when I heard it, my head did I'm gonna age myself now. I'm definitely gonna age myself. But my head did like the exorcist, head on a swivel when I heard him, because I'm like, okay, bro, like we just lost um our measles being eradicated thanks to you putting dumb shit out there. And now we're in danger of people that suffer schizophrenia or is schizoaffective deciding, you know what, I'm just gonna do a keto diet. I'm just gonna bump up my protein intake, my meat intake, and everything's gonna be cool. And they're going to be out there and they're going to have a crisis. They're going to have a psychotic break, and something horrible is going to happen. Like, honestly, this is liable to end up in somebody losing their life one way or the other, whether by cop or by their own hand. But this is going to wind up with somebody unaliving, being unalive somewhere. Trust me. Now, let's talk a little bit about the diet itself. So, the keto diet, if you do it fairly clean, it's a pretty healthy diet. You would lose weight very quickly if you follow it to the T. It is very expensive. I'm so sorry, guys. This chair is super uncomfortable, and this phone doesn't have the best camera and all of that. So anyhow, so yeah, so with the keto diet, number one, it is super expensive. It is not an easy to follow diet in terms of financially, because again, the products have to be clean, um, preferably organic. They have to be keto friendly, because there's a lot of stuff out there that just because it's high in protein doesn't mean that it's keto friendly. So as you guys can see, this is a pretty involved, pretty complicated diet. So imagine somebody that has a schizophrenia trying to manage a diet like this and not being well regulated at all, which can happen because the keto diet can cause certain changes in your pancreas and the way the insulin gets released in your body. It can cause a fatty liver because a lot of people think is, free reign on everything fat and meats, and that's not what the diet is about. So a lot of people wind up with a fatty liver, with chest angina, which is a fancy way of getting chest pains. Some people start getting high cholesterol and other side effects and adverse effects. So if you are thinking about doing the keto diet for any of the diagnoses that is actually recognized for, please do it with a provider. Please find yourself a dietitian or an endocrinologist. Um, don't try to do it yourself, especially not for a mental illness. That's a conversation for you and your provider. This is egregious. This is nasty work from this man, placing people at risk like this, because those of us that are neurodivergent already go through so much and would love to lose the stigma, would love to not need psychotropic medication, because that on its own bring its own stigma. So it's just it's a lot. It's a lot. So I just wanted to get out here and kind of get a feel from you guys, see what you guys think about all of this. How are we feeling about everything that's going on all together? Um, Allow, I'm confused because you are calling me high queefer. Were you on one of my shorts where I had the bisexual flag on my face? What was it that, or was it one of my lives where I spoke about being in the community or being part of the community? I don't know. Let me know. I can't remember. I really can't remember. But so I'll give you my experience of doing keto. So I wanted to do it to lose weight, and at that moment, I wanted to do it to help my partner, because my boyfriend at that moment, he is epileptic. To the best of my knowledge, he's still alive. So he is epileptic, but he has a type of epilepsy that only happens when he sleeps. So whenever he would have his attacks, is difficult because um, he doesn't have an aura, which is that sense that you're gonna get one. He's not, alert, oriented, any of that. So we wanted to do the keto diet to see if it would help him. And I remember his neurologist kind of like looking at him and asking tons of questions about lifestyle and stuff like that. And he was like, at the end of everything, he was like, she will be able to do it. You're not, you're just going to give yourself more seizures. And it was because my boyfriend at that time, he was not open-minded in terms of food at all. Like he was very much meat and potato type of guy, don't rock the boat type of guy. And again, the keto diet can get complicated, can get expensive very quickly. I've done it. I lost a lot of weight. That much I will tell you. I did the clean version. Um, so again, it did lower my blood pressure. Not that it was really that high, but it helped with that. The weight loss was comparable to the GLP 1 medications. I would say I lost about that type of weight. However, I did have an adverse reaction and wind up having what a lot of people call a mini stroke or TIA, traumatic, injury. So yeah, so I have a genetic issue with the artery that runs from behind the back of your head and then bifurcates and comes behind your eyes. Mine's everybody's is like really straight, right? And has like enough like space for everything to go through. So mine goes like that and then it kind of narrows in one area and opens up again. And apparently, the medications that I take versus the keto diet, but mostly they feel the keto diet kind of like raised my cholesterol levels to the point that it created some plaque that got accumulated and like blocked that artery partially. Thank goodness. It wasn't a full blown stroke, but it was very scary. Um, so again, I didn't notice a whole lot of neurological changes. I did know the first week to 2 weeks you feel horrible. They call it the keto flu, and that's exactly how it feels. It feels like you're gonna die with the flu. But once you get over those 2 weeks, and you get into the flow of testing and knowing your body and knowing when you're off your limits, it could be a very beneficial diet for somebody that has morbid obesity and things like that and wants to control diabetes or and whatnot. Again, as long as you do it with a dietitian or a professional, a bariatric specialist, a bariatric surgeon. But yeah, this is not a diet that you should be starting on your own with no guidance. Because again, it's pretty involved, and at the end, it could do more damage than good. Remember, it messes with your glucose levels in your body, and glucose valleys and spikes can feel and can trigger psychosis in certain patients. So please, 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 if you suffer or know somebody that suffers schizophrenia, let them know that no, the keto diet won't do much for them. Um, it can actually put them in danger. And again, if you are one of those that believes this man and you are ruhaha about the whole maha thing, I truly hope the next time you need a colonoscopy, he shows up at the OR. I usually don't like to finish like that, but I'm a little salty today. But anyhow, thank you guys as always. Take care.